So we're standing here at this wonderful Esprit Arena with two Indian, I will put it this way, two Indian passionate football lovers, and who've been covering the game like for so many years now, and they've been doing a fantastic job. So guys, why so much of love for Indian football? You know, living here in Germany all their lives, like there's so many Indians who live outside India and they don't follow Indian football. But why the special connection?
Well, I was lucky that I spent 5 years of my schooling in Kolkata, and that's where my passion for Indian football comes from. I mean, I was taken by my uncle to an East Bengal match in the late 80s, and in those days the Maidan ground used to fill up for every game with 30,000 people. And that is for a young boy if you are 10 years old and you've played or followed football here in Germany all your life, that was a special moment. And since then I've been interested and following football, and then of course later on, you know, IndianFootball.com came around, and that was the first, it was over 15 years ago, the first proper involvement in Indian football. Chris and I got introduced to that, we've become very good friends to that, and we're trying to do a little bit to help Indian football.
Well, if you're born and brought up in Germany, you get a feeling of football, you live with football, you grow up with football, so you're interested in football, so the connection is always there. You know, you have parents, grandparents, relatives over there, visit them in summer vacations, and well, the connection is always there, and the interest in it is always there. So it was close to put those two things together and make it one thing, you know, Indian football.
And it helped us, of course, that with IndianFootball.com, for me at least, that, you know, that Chris was there. In the early days we had Daniel Punnakkattu also, who lives close by to us, and it was sort of three of us who were based in Germany doing IndianFootball.com, and you know, we have the same mentality. On one side, work-wise we're very, very German, but on the other side, you know, passion-wise it's Indian football, so it's, you know, it's been great for us.
Well, now for me, so Chris and Arunava, you have been around with so many Indian players, you know, you have connected well. I mean, like, what's your take on those players? I mean, like, who have been so close to you, you've been following football, like Godwin told us. I mean, like, they have said us that you've been following from ages. So what's your take on Indian players?
Well, my experience has been with Indian players always very, very good. I think you also always have to differentiate when you're doing work as a journalist, you're a journalist, and then when it's private and you're hanging out with the boys, it's amongst you. And I think that differentiation is very, very important, because when you go out with the people or when you talk in private, that's not intended for the general public. You keep it to yourself, and I think that's, I think at least for us, a strong point why we have so many friends amongst the footballers, and you know, that friendship has maintained, and you know, I've got real buddies amongst the footballers, as you guys know, and I think it would be different for Chris.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. You know, we're doing our stuff at work with journalists, but we can differentiate between, you know, private things and work. So, you know, keeping up the friendship.
Okay, then I'll ask one thing to both of you. I think first of all, I'll go with Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I heard you have been so close with Anwar and Mehraj. One likes about the Anwar and Mehraj you'll miss. Yeah.
The friendship.
Yeah.
Easy one. Yeah.
Friendship, and more beyond that, the connection.
Yeah, the connection, you know, we have traveled to Barcelona, for example, in the team, so we get to know each other. That's a relationship, you know.
Because Arunava told me that, like, you know, you're so connected with Mehraj and Anwar. Do you think that you're following their path?
Yeah, sure, with the beer.
I'll talk to Arunava, and yes. Arunava is very close to the king we call Renedy.
Sing is king.
Okay, so let him take on of Renedy.
Well, I now know Renedy for over 13 years. I mean, we met the first time on the India tour of England in 2000, and it was we instantly had a connect. And you know, it was not only him, but there was this group of Renedy, Jules Alberto, and Khalid Jamil, who were very, very interested to learn in those days about football. And we're not talking about today, where you have mobile phones, you have internet, you have everything available. In those days, it was a little different. And we had an instant connect, and you know, Renedy and I have always stayed in touch, and you know, we always meet whenever we can, be it here in Europe or be it in India. And we have a lot of fun together, but we also talk a lot of football when we meet each other. And he's one of the most genuine guys I've gotten to know in Indian football. Sorry, nothing against anybody else, but I think you guys will agree to that. And yeah, greetings back home, Renedy, and we'll see and meet each other soon again.
Okay, this question now.
Okay.
One comes from Bengal, one comes from Kerala. Two big states of football in India after Goa, so I have to say that, which is a fact. So
Why don't we put Sikkim also?
I think Sikkim is a number one,
Yeah,
right?
number
But
one
since,
at the moment,
since
yeah.
Bhai, it's I think a number one. Yes.
I mean, so which is the better state?
I think that's always a personal question, and you've got a biased. Chris will have a biased opinion. I will have a biased opinion on that. But I think our friendship has shown that it's not about Bengal or Kerala or with other people who've worked with us during our days at IndianFootball.com. I think
It's about Indian football.
it was about Indian football, and I think that is something which I am very, very unhappy about when I come back to speak about Indian football. That a lot of people regionalize the whole thing. A lot of people on all sides of the story try to make it, especially in the I-League, a thing between Bengal and Goa, or if it's about where the biggest interest is it Kerala, is it Goa, is it Bengal, is it the Northeast? It doesn't matter. We're all Indian football, and I think all four of us represent different regions of India, but we're all in that sense Indians, and I think that would be my appeal to everyone to support Indian football,
Exactly.
and not to regionalize really the thing, and support your club, support your state in the Santosh Trophy or in youth tournaments, but support Indian football. Come forward to support Indian football, and let's try and do something for the good of Indian football.
Exactly.
Let's we come to an end. Before that, I just want to ask something to both of you. I think you guys have been following from so many places, like your websites, your food. I mean, like your blog, your what do you say? The social networking site has been following by all over the world. So, what's your message to the people who follow football?
Well, I mean, the general message has to be that the beautiful game is something to really follow and watch. I mean, we're standing here in a beautiful arena. It's empty today, but when it's full, I think the passion, the atmosphere is really great. I think we have passion in India. Support players like Nirmal and Godwin. These boys deserve to be supported. Not only them, but everyone of them needs to be supported. And let's work towards making them and better players, making the better I-League, a better national team. And the dream of course stays. I mean, when we started IndianFootball.com in 1999, Germany got the World Cup to host in 2006, and we started a subsection on IndianFootball.com.
India's road to the World Cup.
Yeah, India's passage to the World Cup. To the World Cup in 1999. I know that was a naive dream of two youngsters, or three youngsters. We could take Daniel Punnakkattu into the equation as well. But the dream stays on. India one day in the World Cup. I think all of us would like to see that, and a lot of hard work needs to be put in. So I request everyone support India, support football, and let's make it happen.
What about Chris? I mean, like what's your message to the well-wishers, your followers on Twitter, Facebook, and yes,
It's quite simple. Enjoy the beautiful game of football. Support your team, support your players, in good days and bad times, of course. And enjoy the game. Dream high. Play football, support football.
Yes.
Dream high.
So to finish off, the most important thing, as we've discussed, football is not about regions and places and cultures and castes. Football just speaks one language. The football, the game, the beautiful game, and that's what we want to, say that we've traveled so many places, especially in India, multicultural country. But when it came to football, we are all united. It just brings us together. That special connect. So that's a fantastic thing to say, and we all agree to this, that let the whole world be united by football. It's it's the most popular game, and something that brings the whole world together, no matter what times, and
So we have come to an end finally, without cameraman Nirmal Chettri and Godwin Franco from Düsseldorf, Fortuna.
signing off.
Thank you.
Adios.